question that started everything. Someone once asked Osho a simple question. Master, have you ever thought about marriage? Osho didn't answer immediately. He smiled, closed his eyes for a moment, and said softly, Marriage? No, never. Because marriage is the most decorated prison humanity has created. The room went silent. He continued, Love is a flower. Marriage is a cage. The moment you lock the bird, the song disappears. People laughed, but uncomfortably. Osho wasn't joking. He said, freedom is the highest value in life, higher than marriage, higher than tradition, higher than family expectations. Then he leaned forward and whispered, if you understand this, you will understand why humanity suffers so much. And this is where the journey begins. Why he never chose marriage. Osho said, when I was young, my parents were worried. Society was worried. Everybody wanted me to walk on their path, not mine. They gave me two options, become a husband or become a celibate monk. One prison decorated with flowers, the other painted with religion. He laughed softly. I said, no, I choose neither. Both are ditches. I will walk in the middle, on the razor's edge of freedom. People thought he was arrogant, but he said I was simply honest. I didn't want to sacrifice my consciousness for comfort. Most people choose safety over truth and then complain that life feels empty. Then he said something that stunned everyone. Marriage doesn't fail because people stop loving. Marriage fails because people stop being themselves. And this leads to the real problem, marriage versus love. Osho continued, love is a mystery. Marriage is a rule book. Love is alive. Marriage is paperwork. Love is freedom. Marriage is expectation. He said most people confuse the two. You can love someone deeply without trapping them inside a contract, but society fears freedom. So it turns love into duty, and duty kills joy. Someone asked, then why do people get married? Osho replied, because they don't trust themselves. They want guarantees. They want possession. They want security. He paused and added, but security is the death of love. A bird sings because it is free, not because it is owned. People nodded slowly, and then Osho said, you think marriage protects your love? No, marriage protects your fear. So what happens when the love truly ends? The truth about divorce. Osho said, when love dies, honesty should begin. But society trains you to pretend to be happy, pretend to be loyal, pretend to be the perfect couple. He smiled. I don't believe in divorce because I don't believe in marriage. The crowd gasped. Osho continued, if marriage disappears, divorce disappears. Prostitution disappears. The priest's power disappears. The whole structure of fear disappears. He leaned back and said, a woman shouldn't love by duty. A man shouldn't touch a woman while dreaming of someone else. If love is gone, say it beautifully. Thank you. It was wonderful, but it has ended. Then he added, ending something truthfully is better than dragging something dead. But Osho didn't stop there. Osho said, you have been taught to feel guilty for your natural desires. Your religions have made you ashamed of your own humanity. He shook his head gently. They tell you stories that make no sense. Stories created to control you. Stories that turn beauty into sin and sin into fear. He continued, desire is not your enemy. Desire is energy. If guided with awareness, it becomes meditation. But control creates darkness. Repression is poison. Whatever you suppress returns as frustration, anger, violence, or obsession. Then he said, if humanity accepted its natural self, half of the world's suffering would disappear overnight. And here is where children come in. Why family structures create trauma. Someone asked, then what about children? What about responsibility? Osho replied, "Every child deserves love, real love, not the love poisoned by expectations." He explained, "The family structure teaches a child fear, guilt, obedience, and superstition, not freedom." He said, "In most homes, children grow up watching the arguments of two unhappy adults. The mother nags, the father shouts, and the child absorbs everything." Then he added, "This becomes their blueprint for love. They grow up repeating the same wounds their parents never healed." Osho shook his head. "It's not the child's fault. It's the structure that is wrong." So he proposed something revolutionary. Children should belong to the commune. Osho said, a child should grow with many mothers, many fathers, many personalities, not ownership, but connection. He explained, when a child interacts with many kinds of people, their mind becomes richer, their heart becomes stronger, their intelligence becomes sharper. He continued, a single family creates limitations, a commune creates possibilities. Then he said, love shouldn't be limited to two people fighting over a child. A child belongs to humanity. The crowd was shocked. Osho simply smiled. When a child receives love from many different hearts, they grow with a sense of abundance, not fear. And Osho had one more layer to add. The root of human misery. Osho said, the root of human misery is the fear of being alone. He paused. People marry because they fear loneliness. People stay married because they fear society. People have children because they fear emptiness. He continued, fear cannot create happiness. Fear can only create dependency. Then he added, when you are alone and joyful, when you are alone and complete, only then can love happen. He smiled. Real love is not two halves joining. It is two wholes meeting. Now comes the true breakthrough. Love without possession. Osho said, love is not possession. Love is not control. Love is not attachment. He explained, when you love someone, you don't become their owner. You become their freedom. He paused and smiled. If you really love a person, you let them be themselves. If they want to stay, they will. If they want to leave, they will. And both are beautiful. The audience looked confused. Osho said, love wants the happiness of the other, not the security of the self. Then he added, let your love be like the sky, vast, open, endless. And this leads to the real transformation. Freedom within relationships. Osho said, relationships don't need rules. They need awareness. He continued, when two conscious people meet, their love becomes a celebration, not a contract. He explained, freedom does not destroy love. Freedom deepens it. Freedom makes it real. He said, be with someone not because you need them, but because you enjoy their presence. Then he added, a relationship becomes divine when it becomes voluntary, moment to moment. And this prepares the final truth. How a new humanity begins, Osho said, if humanity drops fear and chooses awareness, a new world begins. He continued, marriage will not be needed. Divorce will not be needed. Possession will not be needed. He explained, people will love freely, live joyfully, and raise children with the whole community. Then he added, a society built on love is far stronger than a society built on law. He paused and said, humanity has lived in darkness for too long. It's time to come into the light. And now, the final message. Osho closed his eyes and said, freedom is the fragrance of life. Love is the flower. Let them grow together. He continued, don't cling. Don't possess. Don't imprison. He smiled. Love beautifully. Let go gracefully. live consciously. Then he ended with, when you understand yourself, you will understand love. When you understand love, you will understand freedom. And when you understand freedom, you will understand life.